All right, well, I have 11:01 now, so we can get started. I am Amy Gerard, the purchasing manager for the city. With us, we have Patty Kenyon, who is a purchasing agent, and we also have um, Dan Hudson, our city engineer, and Matt Franz. Okay, so we are here to discuss the pre-proposal meeting to discuss the upcoming project for the Division of Public Works for the West Pearl Street Streetscaping project. If I can have everyone please use the chat feature to enter your name, the company you are representing, and your email address for attendance purposes. I would greatly appreciate that. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go over how to submit your bid for this project. If you would like to submit a paper submission, you can submit one paper copy and one digital copy on a USB drive stick in a sealed envelope clearly marked with the bid number. If you would like to submit electronically, you can submit via Bid Express. A digital ID is not required, but there is a transaction fee required that is charged by Bid Express. The city does not receive any of those funds. And Bid Express tutorial documents are available on the city's website if you have questions on how to upload it. In order to submit a bid, you need to include the following documentation. The division specs and contract requirements, your bid form, which includes your tabulations of subcontractors, suppliers, and other individuals and entities required to be identified in the bid, your schedule of values, your bid bond, a contractor's qualification statement, a non-collusion affidavit, and any and all addendas that may be issued. Addendas can be found on the city's website and Bid Express. And if you do not have any of the required documentation, you are at risk of being disqualified. The deadlines for questions is Wednesday, October 25th at 12 p.m. If you have questions, you can email them to purchasing@nashuanh.gov. We'll have any answers posted on Tuesday, October 31st at 12 o'clock. And regardless of the method of submission, bids must be received no later than 4 p.m. on Thursday, November 9th in the purchasing department, which is located in room 11 of City Hall. And we're in the basement. Does anyone have any questions about how to submit a bid? Okay, I'm not seeing anyone raise their hand or go off mute. So with that, I am going to hand it over to the engineering team to discuss more details of the project.
Okay, good morning, everyone. As Amy mentioned, my name is Matthew Franz, Senior Staff Engineer with the City of Nashua, and I'll run through the project with you. This project involves construction of the streetscaping elements, traffic calming, and pedestrian safety improvements on West Pearl Street. The project begins at the intersection of West Pearl Street and Main Street and extends approximately 800 feet along West Pearl to the intersection of Walnut Street. This full reconstruction project includes sidewalks, drainage improvements that simply include moving the catch basins to the new curb lines, and a couple other minor improvements. Pavement removal, regrading, and paving markings. Streetscaping, meaning trees and new floral elements. Traffic control is going to be a huge portion of the project, as our stores and there are restaurants on the West Pearl Street that will need to remain open and accessible during normal work times. Sidewalks will include removal of curb for salvage, 6-inch reinforced concrete sidewalk, That will include a decorative brick inlay with granite curbing along the road and for various streetscape elements. The drainage improvements, as I mentioned, be removal of the catch basins and portions of pipe to install new catch basins and connect the existing pipes to the systems. Paving will include removal of the existing asphalt in West Pearl Street. Slight change to the profile, so some fine grading and repaving and application of pavement markings. Finer streetscape elements will include trees with tree grates, new plantings and planters, irrigation that will be connected from the new Performing Arts Center to the various planters. There will also be special structural soils that are intended to promote root growth in the various planters. So long as there is CU structural soils in the project. And there is new lighting and conduit in the project, new light fixtures, bases, and posts and locations, new conduit to replace the old systems in the sidewalk. Traffic control, as I mentioned, is going to be a very important part of the project. The proposed work zone is in high traffic business zone. Staging, phasing, and construction has to take into consideration the sensitivity and needs of the abutters. That being said, within the various elements of the sidewalk, drainage, paving, and streetscaping components, this project does uniquely include specifications. The city standards are, of course, included. The New Hampshire DOT 2016 standards are included, but also for some elements, some of the master format specification items will govern some of that work, some of the brick work, some of the planting work, items of that nature. As a part of this project, the milestone dates, I believe substantial completion is November 15th and 2024. Final completion of June 1st. December 15th. I'm sorry, December 15th, 2024. So yeah, close. So at that point, does anybody have any questions?
Hearing none, we thank you for your interest in the project. There's a deadline for questions, as Amy referenced and as referenced in the document. So if you have any questions following this meeting, go ahead and send those in. They need to be submitted in writing to Amy, to the purchasing department. So we look forward to receiving and answering any questions you may have. Other than that, thank you for your interest in the project. It'll be a good project for the city, and we're excited about it. So we encourage you to bid and hopefully have a good construction season next year. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.